What's going on, guys? A super quick one for you today. If you, like me, had an issue with the AirPod Pro ear tips not necessarily fitting your ears properly or staying in for that matter, like in my case, I had a large ear tip on the left ear and a medium one on the right ear, and even in certain positions, if I ever magically decided to bend down to pick something up, which doesn't often happen, the right ear one would always fall out, and it was really annoying, quite a deterrent. I found myself not using them for that purpose. I was afraid that if I was mowing the lawn and I did something, they would fall out and I'd lose them in the grass or something. So I found myself looking for a solution online. Now, I didn't come up with this. It was a bunch of different people, but the videos that I found were not as concise as they could have been, so I'm here to make a super concise video addressing this issue. Right off the bat, by the way, you'll notice that my AirPod Pros are in a blue silicone case because I have impulse control issues, and these were $4, so I bought them. But opening up the case, you'll see my AirPod Pros are actually black tipped. Now that's because these are obviously not the factory ear tips that come with the AirPod Pros. These are actually a foam ear tip that have a hard plastic core to them in the center that allows the AirPod Pros to settle more securely and anchor better on your inner part of your middle ear. That's your middle, the ear canal opening place. Science. So these being foam, you're able to compress them a little bit and you can stick them in your ear. They expand on the inside and they still have a much better hold than the standard ear tips that the AirPod Pros come with. The biggest bonus to these ear tips is that they will still allow you to put the AirPod Pros into their stock case. Now, the issue that I found with a few other options out there is that they don't necessarily fit directly back in the case. You have to maybe take off the ear tip every single time. That's just another thing to lose. So it didn't make much sense to me. I picked up these AirPod ear tips for 15 bucks off of Amazon, and that's 15 bucks Canadian. You can get some for 10 bucks. Only thing I'd say is make sure that the description of the ear tips says on it AirPod Pro ear tips. And that being said, there are a couple of different options. Just keep in mind that the footprint of this thing has to be fairly small so that it still fits in the actual stock case. Otherwise, you might have one of those issues where you have to compress it every single time. It forces itself out of the charging bay. It can be quite a nuisance and it can kind of ruin the whole experience. But now I have a better fitting pair of AirPod Pros that fit in the stock case. They look a little different, which is okay. That part goes in your ear, you can't see it anyways. And I did it all for an extra 15 bucks, which is not bad. So if you had the same issue that I did, then have a look at this solution. That's been it. Have a look at these AirPod Pro ear tips. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.